Rachel Zegler's creating a mess for Disney when it comes to the live-action Snow White adaptation, and recently I talked about how Disney executives are allegedly having crisis talks to find a way to win fans back before the film releases in 2024, but now Entertainment Tonight has put out a video that is being called out as damage control for the company who is freaking out over the disaster she's created. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted, and of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or supporter via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this Bounding Into Comics article, it says as backlash against Rachel Zegler continues, Entertainment Tonight is accused of running damage control for the Snow White actress. Now, this isn't really all that surprising. Usually when I'm talking about shill critics, I'm talking about like critic scores on something like Rotten Tomatoes for a film that recently released, or I'm talking about their reviews of movies that are just god-awful and they say are the best thing to ever be created, and that they're absolutely amazing and fantastic and perfect, and we all expected a lot of damage control when it came to Snow White, and we expected the media to shill for this movie and also Rachel Zegler because they already have been. I talked about it in, a few videos, but they have been pushing out articles defending her, defending this movie, saying you're only mad because, you just can't accept the fact that they decided that they wanted to do this stunning and brave new remake with all of these changes. It's not stunning and brave to take someone's work and twist it around and change characters and storylines and literally everything. I mean, Snow White isn't the same anymore. She wants to be a leader. She is a strong, independent woman. She's no longer the damsel in distress. She doesn't want love. This is not a love story. You also have these 7 magical companions. They completely removed the dwarves from this movie. I mean, the list goes on, but this is why people are upset. And yes, people have been absolutely roasting her on social media, and rightfully so, because she has made some very questionable statements about not only this movie, but about her history with Snow White. I mean, she straight up admitted that she's had only watched Snow White once in her life before getting this role because she just didn't like it. That isn't going to sit well with people, and of course, they're going to try to run damage control. I covered this in a video a few days ago, but brand experts were warning that the backlash could ruin this big budget Snow White remake, and they were talking about how they thought, or at least their insiders had heard that they were going to be having crisis talks behind the scenes. The executives were for this movie, which definitely isn't good. But it says during the film's promotion last September at D23 Expo, she made numerous comments that the upcoming Disney film will be nothing like the original animated. Not only did she confirm it will be nothing like the original animated film, but she also disparaged it. She has been making very questionable comments for, I would say, the past year or so. Really, ever since she got cast, she's been making very questionable statements, saying that the original 37 animated was weird. She also called it a cartoon, which has infuriated people because it's an animated film, but she also said that the prince was a stalker and that, the love story didn't, bring a lot to Snow White's character. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just not Snow White at this point, but this video has been going viral. People have been talking about it. Entertainment Tonight posted it on their social media. I couldn't actually find it on their Twitter, even though I had read that it was on their Twitter, but I did find it on their TikTok, so I figured I'd play it quickly.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. When I tell you that it's hard.
I have to pause it really quickly and point out, I think that the sad music in the background is hilarious. I think that that is so funny, and it just makes the video so much worse. Like, why would you put sad music behind it? I don't know what the PR team was thinking with that.
It's hard. I just mean to be inside my brain. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it.
As a huge Disney fan like all of you, this is the biggest dream come true I could possibly.
She says that she was the biggest Disney fan, which is fine. I mean, maybe she was, but she also has straight up admitted that she never liked Snow White, that she'd only watched it once before she got this role. I'm sorry, I can't listen to her talk about how much she's grateful and how amazing this opportunity was. She just wanted to get paid, which I understand. At the end of the day, all actors just want to get paid. But seriously, going into these interviews and painting a completely different narrative for yourself, you just look like a liar and ultimately an actor. No one wants to view you as a genuine person when you're making conflicting statements.
Imagine for myself. Thank you all for making it possible and being excited.
Rachel, this is your second film.
I know.
How do you describe that experience?
Oh, it's so weird and like not okay. No pun intended. Lightning struck twice.
They try to paint her as such like a quirky girl.
I can't believe this is my life. Really, I can't. Every day.
17 years old, a junior in high school. You send in this casting tape, and then you're cast as Maria.
I'm like,
They just tried so hard to spin this situation, right, and paint her as this amazing, good, lighthearted person. But we can see in all of the other interviews that she has done over the past year that she just isn't that person. And she just looks like an actor, and it makes people not trust you. You just don't sound genuine. She talks in this about how, we should be nicer to each other. That was also a tweet that she had recently made in response to the backlash that the world could be such a kinder place, because of course she's getting dogpiled right now. There are so many people on social media going after her saying that she is just, not a great person. But this is actually hilarious that she has come out and said we all need to be nicer to each other because she has participated in hate campaigns against other actors before. Gina Carano actually had recently called out Rachel Zegler's hypocrisy after the Snow White actress engaged in a hate campaign against her. I mean, she was one of the people who had tried to dogpile Gina Carano and tried to get her fired. She had previously led a hate campaign against Gina Carano simply because of the beep, boop, bop pronouns that Gina Carano had put in her Twitter description. And that was enough to trigger someone like Rachel Zegler. You just can't make up these situations. I mean, she is an extremely hypocritical person, and she doesn't seem to care what people think about her, which is kind of the worst part, because you'd think that she would care that she is actively damaging this project, but she doesn't. At the end of the day, she's still getting paid. That's all that really matters to her. But yes, this is the newest situation with Rachel Zegler. Entertainment Tonight is being accused of running damage control for her and also the Snow White remake and Disney in general, and it really does look like a giant PR campaign. It does really look like damage control. No amount of damage control, though, is going to get someone like me interested in this movie at this point. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.